leans in. He's a great, gracious guy.
He's a very nice man.
Yeah. But I'll say, like, our daughter just went off to college where she is being safely held prisoner in a cleansed dorm area. So far, so good. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
But we spent the summer at her, frankly, insistence, watching the TV show Love Island UK, which, like, it was a really good bonding experience for me and our daughter and our son. Like, we all, and especially during this time of anxiety and worry and uncertainty, to learn from Love Island UK, basically the watchwords of my life is what it is. Is what it is, isn't it? Is what it is. But our daughter bought for our son's birthday a birthday greeting from Nas from Love Island UK most recent season, and he gave so much of himself.
Not, for example, Nas from Illmatic, the greatest rap album ever recorded.
No. Just different Nas. Very, very sweet guy, kind of the jokester of the villa. If you Love Island UKs will know what I'm talking about. And then when our daughter went to college, I went a little cameo cuckoo, and I just started because I couldn't send her anything, couldn't send her any care packages yet. So I just started sending her and my son cameos from various reality show stars, and it's so endearing. And then I sent one to Nas, and Nas, not Illmatic Nas. I'm talking about Love Island UK Nas. And I wrote to Nas. I said, "You were so wonderful to answer our daughter's request to wish our son a happy birthday, and now our daughter is off to college. Would you say something to her?" And Nas is like, "I'm not going to do an accent because it's terrible." But he's like, "Hello, Hodgmina. Welcome to college. Good for you. I feel I'm a Hodgman friend of the family now." I'm so excited. I just want to write to him every week. But there's a reason I brought this up, which is that Barry Williams, who played Greg Brady, is on Cameo. Also an incredibly generous, giving guy. I had an interaction with him when I worked at a video store in college, which you can read about in my book, Medallion Status. So I feel like a close connection to him. But if you check, I really advise people to check out some of the sample cameos that he's got up there. His anniversary and birthday wishes, because there's one that takes a hard right turn that you do not see coming, and he handles it so graciously. So there you go. We were talking about, this is all about the Brady Bunch, right? This is our new podcast?
Yeah. Here's the Story is the name of our podcast.
Let's do our actual podcast.
Okay, how about some justice for Sam?
Right.
I moved from Florida to Minnesota about 3 years ago and was surprised to see pizza sliced into squares rather than the traditional triangular cuts. Triangle cuts have many advantages. Each slice is the same size and shape as the others. Each slice can be held by the crust, so your hands don't get messy. A pizza cut into squares winds up having pieces with no crust to hold and weird-shaped pieces that are very tiny around the edges. Is this an issue of people like what they like? Even so, I'd like you to issue a ruling that triangle cut pizza is better. Just look at the emoji for pizza. It's a triangle slice.
Well, trial by emoji, perhaps. So, Sam, even if I were to rule people like what they like, Sam wants me to rule that he's correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Jesse, I have a question for you. I think this might be a regional.
Have I eaten in Minnesota and was I disappointed? Yes and yes.
Oh, how dare you. How dare you? Minnesota has incredible food.
The last time I was in Minnesota, actually, Bill Corbett and Kevin Murphy from Riff Tracks told me, who are Minnesotans, or they're Minnesota residents, the longtime Minnesota residents, told me about this kind of like fish fry type situation where you go to like a VFW hall and you pay like $25 and then you just get huge piles of food brought to you.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fish eater, but I think there were other options. This I'm in for. But when I went to a public radio event in Minnesota and they were very excited to serve us a hot dish.
Yeah.
I did not like hot dish.
Hot dish is a catch-all term for casserole.
Yeah.
And I love Minnesota. I love Kevin Murphy. I've stayed in Kevin Murphy's house You know how Brussels sprouts come on a big stalk?
Yeah.
He roasted a whole stalk of Brussels sprouts and with a maple glaze. And I don't like
that's
sweets,
fun.
but it was great.
That's really
People, look, one of the things I miss about travel is not being able to go to Minneapolis, St. Paul and see my friends Kevin and Bill and eat out. There's an incredible food scene in Minneapolis and St. Paul.
You know what?
And then
I'm
outside
taking
of
it back because I just remembered those cheeseburgers where the cheese is inside the burger, and that's really fun.
There you go. And then there's a huge international population in Minneapolis and to a certain degree St. Paul, and then outside traditional Minnesota hot dish, like it's just these people go through long winters and they think about and enjoy food a lot and a lot of it. And I love it. But you grew up in San Francisco, so here's my question for pizza.
Yeah.
Where was your favorite place to get pizza, and how many burritos were on
it? I've been obsessing over a half-remembered pizzeria in something like Burlingame, California, called Pizza and Pipes. That was a pipe organ-themed pizza restaurant. Now, I want to be clear. Pizza and Pipes does... when you put it in the Bay Area milieu, it seems like it could be something else.
Vape shop.
It was an entire restaurant with like a 500 pipe organ that went around the entire place. And I couldn't remember if this was real and Tony McCauley had really had his 10th birthday party there.
Yeah.
But I mentioned it on Jordan Jesse Go, and apparently there was a really intense pipe organ themed pizzeria restaurant fad in the mid 1980s to mid 1990s that then faded away almost as quickly. And I think there is still like one Pizza in Pipes in Sacramento or something. But Pizza in Pipes was a national phenomenon, and along with its imitators.
Whoa. I've just Googled an article from a website I've never heard of, so I hope that they are not white nationalists. Tastecooking.com, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Called The Life and Death of Pizza and Pipes from 2018. I'm gonna read it. But in any case.
That said, for me, it was Straw Hat Pizza on 24th Street. But as you correctly identified, while I like pizza as much as the next person, and it was also a favorite childhood food just like anybody else, as a native of the Mission District, it was a distant third to burritos and pupusas on my like comfort food family dinner
That's the other thing
list.
I miss those San Francisco burritos, San Francisco Sketch Fest. Oh.
Yeah.
But your pizza was cut into triangles, probably, right?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
That's...
There are very few places where it's cut into squares, I think. Detroit has a weird square pizza, right? But Sam is talking about a round pizza cut into squares.
Yeah. And actually, what I learned, you'll remember we've made reference before to the Serious Eats Guide to Regional Pizza by Adam Kuban, which lists how there are all different ways of cutting pizza, both in the United States and outside of the United States. And I learned that square cut round pizza is a thing in more than one place, including Minnesota. So here's what I have to say to Sam. Look, Sam, you got out of Florida. Congratulations. Don't complain. You moved from one intense weather-inspired eccentricity state to another. And you need to adapt to something called Minnesota nice, which means it's no longer appropriate for you to get mad and scream shirtless on a street corner about your pizza rights being violated, but instead be nice and accept that there are genuine regional differences. And as you know from the Serious Eats Guide to Regional Pizza, square cut pizza is one of them. So in the Midwest, I've learned, Jesse Thorne, you're going to see square cut or quote unquote tavern cut pizza, because